are the three main things that are key to creating a successful business?
Well, look, business is really about three main things. Number one, it's about people. And if you build your people, they'll build your business. If you don't build people, they can't build your business. And I remember learning, my dad taught me, I think I was 20, and I had a business, and I went to my dad and I said, you know what, Dad, I just can't get good people. And he looked me dead in the eye and he said, son, you get the people you deserve. I'm like, oh, what? And he said, well, you're an average manager running an average business. The highest caliber of employee that wants to work for you is average. So, you've got to become a great leader and a great manager if you want great people to work for you. And so I don't build businesses. I build people who build businesses. So that's probably the simplest thing, Paul, when you look at the first thing of business. The second thing is you've got to have a product or service that has an ability to make money. Too many people go into business selling something they love instead of selling something the market loves. For years, people would always come up to me after I give speeches and say, I've got this idea. It's the newest, it's the latest, it's the greatest. And I'd be like, well, but hang on. I get that you love it, but does anyone want it? It's like Zappos made $1 billion company selling shoes. Why? Because they found an easier, better way to sell shoes. And the third thing you got to have is a thing I called leverage. And leverage, the original definition I learned was more with less. The mathematical formula is divide to multiply, like you break something down into its smallest parts and then you build it up to multiply it. But the definition I teach is do the work once, get paid forever. So how do you do work once that pays you back forever? So, I've written 17 books, and I'm going to talk to you about your real estate thing later. I'm going to give you a 60-second lesson on real estate that might change your mind, Mr. Fagan. And so leverage, really, if you look at it, and we can use the simplest of examples. In a business, employee work is work where you do the work once and get paid once. Manager work is where you do the work once and get paid long term. Owner's work is where you do the work once and get paid forever. So there's the three layers. You look at business success. You want to get a customer once and keep them coming back forever. What's a good example of that everyone will understand? Apple. Use Apple as an example. Steve Jobs. Remember when he first started Apple, he got fired from Apple. How come? Because he had no leverage. They made a computer once and sold it once. Made it, sold it, made it, sold it. They actually had a negative because they sold it with software included, so they had to keep the software up to date. Like that's a losing proposition if you ever heard one, right? So he goes away and buys this little company called Pixar, builds it up and sells it for billions to Disney. What did he learn? You make a movie how many times? Once, and you sell it how many times? 1 billion times. So he comes back, moves Apple into the into the music business. Jobs is smarter than me. He's not do the work once, get paid forever. He's do the work, never get paid forever. Like everyone says they invented the iPod. No, they didn't. Sony invented the MP3 player, except the marketers at Sony were morons. They called it the MP3 player. Napster invented iTunes. They just stole everyone's stuff. He went over and did it the other way. And here you are with a guy that sells music, but they never make any music. They don't make a single piece of music, and they sell billions. Now they rent you the music. That's a whole other story of why they had to buy Beats headphones to get the rental contract, so that instead of buying the music, you now rent the music from them because Spotify was kicking their butt. But so business, we can talk business for days. In fact, my teaching on business does last for days. So.